Welcome back. It's looking really ugly now on the screen. The Nifty is approaching a 2% fall. That bounce back that Nigel was pointing out has been sold into. 17,321 is what we have on the index. Larsen and Toubro has led the last round of decline. And there are others like Bharti Airtel as well, which are giving it company. So the screens not look good today. The advanced decline line is now 1:5, and it's widening even further. Since morning, of course, it's been quite weak. But as we move closer towards the closing, it's actually the gap is widening, which is never a good sign. But let's go across to Nimesh then for D Street Chatter. Nimesh, tell us, has there been some heavy-duty FI selling today?
Well, and that doesn't look to be, that's not the feedback that there is massive FI selling. But yes, there is a bit of withdrawal of ETF capital for the last few days, and that's been the trend today as well. So that's the overall feedback from a flow point of view. Having said that, it looks like India is finally now catching up to the global underperformance and reacting to the worst macro data as well. Remember, for a very long time, India has been actually ignoring the global data and outperforming. So that's finally now catching up. In terms of, again, the fall today is essentially led by financials. And that's where there was a bit of, overposition as well in the last few weeks. And that's reversing a bit. So the Nifty Bank is down almost 3% in today's trade. From the highs, the Bank Nifty is down more than 5%. So that's a bit of reversal as well, which is happening in the financial names. In terms of sectors, having said that, there is still a bit of buying interest. The two sectors which stands out today, one is of course autos, where there is a bit of buying interest from the largest institutions, and selectively after a sharp knock in many of the individual names, some bit of financial stocks are bought into by the larger funds. That's the overall feedback from a flow point of view. In a couple of macro data which will be important to watch out for. One, of course, the credit data, the fortnightly data which will come today evening, and the RBI policy next week. Both will be very, very crucial for the bank's performance, at least in the near term. But technically, it looks like some of the crucial levels are broken. So the level now which a lot of investors are talking about is maybe around 17,200 on the downside, or maybe 16,800 on the downside. So that's the level to watch from a technical point of view. A bit of reversal on India's outperformance of late, but there is no panic selling, is what I understand, as far as flows are concerned.
Okay, all right, Nimesh, that'll be good news actually if there's no panic selling. But individual stocks, what are you picking up?
Hi, Nigel. So in terms of individual names, the first stock is Anupam Rasayam. That stock was up 6% yesterday, flat in trade today. But I understand, the company is likely to raise funds via QIP very soon. Maybe early next week is the indication that they will raise money. So that's the first one. The second stock is PI Industries. There was a block of almost 10 lakh shares in the pre-open today. In terms of details, I understand the promoter entity was a seller, and clutch of domestic mutual funds were buyer in today's block of that 10 lakh shares. So PI is under pressure today on the back of promoter selling some small stake. The third stock is Deepak Fertilizer. If you look at that stock in the mid-cap space, that's been a big outperformer in the last 1 quarter or so. And now at these levels, I believe there's going to be a large block deal very soon in Deepak Fertilizer. So that's the third one. And the last stock is NHPC. We heard the management as well, today on the channel. A couple of days back, CLSA put out a big note initiating coverage. And since then, there has been consistent buying in NHPC. And even in today's trade, the delivery volumes are going to be quite high, because I believe some long-only funds seems to be quite active buying into NHPC today.
All right, Nimesh, thank you very much for that.